They were yelling at me to get into the building, and that's when I ran into the building for cover.
Very scary yesterday. People in Branford described running for their lives as a man perched in an apartment window opened fire. One man was hit, suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Hogan has been at the scene throughout the day today. He is live with eyewitness accounts and the latest on the investigation. Kevin?
Well, Mark, the latest on the investigation. The state medical examiner's office is identifying the shooter now as Matthew Walker. They say he died of a single gunshot wound to the head, a suicide. Meanwhile, Branford police as well as state police, they are still here at the scene some 30 hours later. They're canvassing the area. They're collecting evidence, possibly hundreds of rounds of gunfire that Walker shot from the second floor here at the house behind me on Main Street. And then the business owners, they're breathing a sigh of relief tonight, thankful that no one else outside the shooter was killed.
And they was in the window there shooting out the window. You know, right in line with me, so I ducked under the pallet, you know, and there was lots more shots fired.
Just after noon Tuesday, John Chamberlain called 911.
Officers responded immediately, arriving within 90 seconds of the initial shots.
Branford police returned fire. A man in an apartment on the second floor of 241 Main Street was shooting at buildings, vehicles, and people all within his sight. Larry STOUP of Pepe's Gulf Station ran to get his neighbor under cover after he was hit with gunfire.
So Ash went out front here at the pumps. He was walking around kind of dazed like, I guess, and he said, "Larry, I think I've been hit." And I went out, I got him inside the building, and fortunately he's okay today.
Ashwin Patel is okay tonight, recovering in the hospital. For 6 hours, the gunman identified by the medical examiner as Matthew Walker held police at bay, firing possibly hundreds of rounds. Cell phone video captured by one neighbor shows the chaotic scene.
Oh my God.
They were in my backyard, guns drawn, facing the house where the perpetrator was, and he told me to get in the house.
Bill Mannley tells me he hid in his basement for 5 hours.
I think my adrenaline was like pumping. I don't think I felt scared. I just was waiting for it to be over.
At least he wasn't on foot walking. So at least when the police got here, he couldn't get out then.
Many other civilians were terrified, and they were in the vicinity of the gunfire. Many nearby vehicles and homes were damaged. Now, I got a tip last night that Branford police had a complaint from a neighbor of the shooter, but I asked the Branford deputy chief about that today, and he said they are reviewing that and any other kind of correspondence or anything that they had to do with the shooter, now identified as Matthew Walker by the state medical examiner's office. Branford police are also very grateful for the huge outpouring of mutual aid, first responders, and thankfully that they didn't get killed. Live the Mobile Newsman in Branford, Kevin Hogan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.